Hello and welcome to the 13th video tutorial of this series. In this video tutorial, we are going to talk about conditional statements, which is if-else statement in Python and what is indentation. So we will proceed with if-else, that is conditional statements in Python. Then we will learn what is indentation. So to understand what is if-else in Python or what is conditional statement, so I'll take two variables. First variable a equals to 10, and similarly I'm taking one more variable b equals to 20, and then we will check whether we want to display something or we want to compare whether a is greater or b. So in that scenario I have to write if. So now I have to write if a is greater than b, and then I want to print something, and what I want to print is I want to print a is greater than b. So if a is greater than b, then I will get this statement. Since a is not greater, I'll give a greater number to a. Now if you see, the statement is saying a is greater than b. This is a conditional state. This is an arithmetic operator. So what we are doing is we are logically checking whether a is greater than b or not. So in that scenario you can see that a is greater than b, so that means this statement is true. Now if this statement is true, then this line should execute. So if I run this file, to run this file I have to write py and file name is if-else.py. So I run this file and I can see output a is greater than b. That means a is greater than b. So this way we write a if statement in Python. Okay, so now what is indentation is, first of all we will learn what is indentation. So if you see that I have applied a colon over here, that indicates that we are applying some indentation. That means whatever the statements will be after this line will be inside the block of if statement. So that's why if a is greater than b, then this statement is getting printed. What will happen if I do not follow the indentation? If I write it over here only and I compare it like if b is greater than a. So in this scenario b is not greater than a, so we should get nothing as an output. But what will happen is, if I run this file, okay, what is the error? And the error is saying expected an indented block. So we'll get this error that we should add it as an indentation. So that's why every time we are writing any statement inside a if block, so we have to give it as indentation by we can press the tab button to give a proper indentation, or in this tool we can directly hit enter button and automatically the line will be in indentation form. Now if I run this file, and nothing will be the output because b is not greater than a. So this was if statement. Now we want to apply an if else statement over here. So in that case, if I have written if a is greater than b, so I want to print that a is greater than b, otherwise I want to print. So similarly, in the case of you want to add some statement in else block, so you have to write else and then you have to write print b is than a. So that means b is greater than a. What will happen if a is greater than b? Then this line will be displayed on console. Otherwise, else means otherwise, this statement will be displayed. Let's see what we'll get as an output. So if I run this file and I can see that it is giving me an output a is greater than b, which means a is greater than b. That means the if statement, the if block was executed, not the else one. So if you want to display the if else statement, you can give a larger value to b, and now we will get b is greater than a. And if I run it, and you can see the output b is greater than a. So this is the way how we apply a if else statement, which is a conditional statement in Python. Now we have one more thing, which is if elif. So I want to add elif over here as well. So for that scenario I will take one more variable, and that one more otherwise we can do like this. I have two variable, a is 20 and b is 30, and if I want to check if a is greater than b, then this statement will be true. And second scenario, I want to write elif will be as a one keyword like elif. There will not be any space between L and if. And I want to write print. So inside if I have to pass a condition, and the condition is that if b is greater than a. If b is greater than a, then I want to print this statement in my elif block. This is the block of elif. So now b is greater than a, else I want to print both are equal. Obviously, if a is not greater than b and b is not greater than a, then both are equal. So if I run this file, what will be the output? The output should be b is greater than a, because the value of b is greater than a. Now if I run this file, and you can see that the output is b is greater than a. What if I give 30 value to a as well? So in this condition, what will happen? The program will start executing from here. It will first check whether a is greater than b or not. So you can see definitely a is not greater than b. Then it will not come inside the if block. Then it will move to elif block, and inside elif block the condition is whether b is greater than a or not. So obviously b is again not greater than a. Again it will not come inside elif block. It will move to else block, and inside else block we have not written any condition over here. So that's why it will give an output that both are equal. So this way we can define if, else if, elif and else statement in Python. So there are some scenarios, and scenarios are like there can be only if statement, and the if statement like this: if a is greater than b, then you can print a is greater than b like this. So that means we can have only if statement over here, can have or cannot have else or else if. Okay, so in Python, if statement can have if or else, but we cannot. If I run this file, first of all let's see what will be the output. If I run this file, you can see nothing is an output because both are equal. If I give it a value of 10, if I run this file again, you can see that we got an output a is greater than b. That means this condition is true. Now I have not written any elif. I have not written any elif or else statement in along with our if statement. So if I want to write else and I want to print something, what will be the output? If you run this file, then the output is that syntax error, because in Python there cannot be else if statement without if. So there must be an if statement or if condition, then else will be applicable. Directly else will not be applicable. And similarly in the case of elif, if I write it elif a is greater than b, and I want to print something that a is greater than b, so again it will give an syntax error, because again elif cannot be without if, elif cannot be used. So these were some basic things which I wanted to tell you in Python about elif statement. Now we are looking about ternary operator which is available in Python. So in that case, if I want to write if a is greater than b, and I want to check whether a is greater than b or not. So that can be written either in a next line, which I already told you, print a is greater than b. So if I run this file, so you can see the output a is greater than b. Similarly, this can be written in a single line as well, because in case if you have a single line statement like this, so that you can write directly after colon. So again, you got an output a is greater than b. But if you have a lot of number of lines, so those number of lines will be like here. So all these statement will be displayed when a is greater than b. So that is the use of indentation. If I execute this file, you can see that all the statement inside if block has been executed. So now we have one more operator to check. So I'll write, first of all, I'll write a. So I'll give a condition over here, if a is greater than b. So I'm writing print a if a is greater than b, else I will print b over here. So let's see what will be the output. If I run this file, you can see the output is a. This is called an ternary operator. So what we are doing is we will print a. The condition is over here, if a is greater than b, then print a. Otherwise means else print b. So in a single line, you can write a statement like this as well. So this is called a ternary operator in some of the programming language. So again, if I want to give 20 or 10 over here, in this condition what will happen, it will first check if a is greater than b or not. So definitely a is not greater than b, so it will come in else statement, and inside an else statement you can again write something like, I am trying to write print over here, print b. Again I'll write if b is greater than a, else print equal. So let's see what will be the output here. And we got an output as equal. So why did we got our output as equal is, if you try to understand, this is an ternary operator. So here this one is the condition of a. That means whenever the value of a will be greater than b, so a will be displayed like print a. If you read the statement, print a if a is greater than b, else inside else the whole statement is over here inside else. So obviously a is not greater than b, so it will come in this block. And what we have written in this block, if you say it clearly, so you can see that inside else block again I have written a ternary operator, which is over here. So the condition in first time this will not be true, so it will come in else statement, and inside else statement we have written print b. So we are trying to print b. The condition is over here when b is greater than a. So again b is not greater than a, so this print will not be displayed. It will go in else statement, and inside else statement we are writing print equal. So that's why we got an output as equal. So this was a ternary operator. If you have any doubt in ternary operator, you can write it into the comment section.